Happy Sunday, everyone, Dolphinistas, Queenagers, and followers and friends. I asked for mindset questions to talk about in this live today. And then I kind of opened it up because I got some other really great questions. And I really love sharing what I know about the questions that you asked. But I will say I don't know everything. I'm still learning. I think that's one of the things about fitness is that you never get to a point where you know everything because your body is unique. And what you might read on Instagram from other people working out or other coaches, even me, may not work for you. But anyway, welcome to my Sunday Instagram Live. It's lovely to have you. Thank you for taking the time to be with me today. So one of the questions I got, which I thought was great, define mindset. Like, what is mindset? We talk about that all the time, but nobody really explains it. At least I've not heard it explained, in a definitive way. So for me, the idea of a mindset is the lens that you view life through. And it's because we've all had different experiences and we're all different personalities and we live in different cultures, that lens is going to be very unique. However, sometimes the negative ideas we have about ourselves and we have about life in general and we have about other people can cloud that lens. And so every time we look through that lens, our mindset tends to be on the negative side. Our thought process seems to be more on sort of a negative energy flow. I mean, we all know that phrase, looking through rose-colored glasses, and that's kind of the lens I'm talking about. I mean, you don't want to be, ignorant of what's going on around you, but a mindset is kind of how you steer your course through life. Someone also asked how mindset impacts your perception of life, and that's exactly how. It's like, how do you look at life? What is your general mindset? Do you trust people generally? Do you love people? Are you more you love people, but you're an introvert and you need time alone? All the ways that we look at life is our mindset, and it's so unique and individual. And opinions are in there, experiences and thoughts that have come from experiences. So the whole thing about mindset in fitness is to put that belief in yourself, or have it come to the fore, should I say, because it's actually in there. It gets clouded with this dirty lens, but it also gets clouded from experiences and opinions from other people. And so sometimes we believe we can't do it. So mindset to me is the most important aspect of fitness. Ways to strengthen discipline when motivation drops. Somebody asked that when it's cold and dark outside. When you are beginning a fitness journey, and I got a lot of questions about how to start, how do I start? Hello, everyone. How to start. I always suggest starting with a walk, getting up in the morning before you're even awake, get out the door, start moving before your brain wakes up and says, I don't want to do this. Or why am I going to waste my time? Just get up and do it. Your blood starts flowing, you feel better, and then you can progress to other forms of exercise. Maybe eventually going to the gym and lifting weights, which is really going to transform your physique. In the beginning, it takes discipline. It takes the idea that you know why you want to get healthy. You know why you want to get fit. You need to have a very strong why. And for me, it was just the gratitude I had for still being alive at 65. It makes me so grateful that I can move my body, because I had periods in my life where I could not because I was so ill with, diabetes complications, heart disease, blah, blah. You guys know all that. Or I've talked about it a lot. But the point is, my why was my body will respond now when I treat it well. Whereas when I was younger, and a diabetic, it would not respond. So that's my why. And once you get that rhythm going, discipline and motivation. Motivation is going to go. That's in the beginning. The discipline in the beginning is very important too. And eventually it becomes a habit that you stack on top of other habits. And if it's cold and dark outside, you don't care. You still get up in the morning and brush your teeth, right? Or get dressed. It doesn't matter if it's cold and dark outside. But you'll eventually feel that way about working out or going to the gym or taking a walk. It's like, it's just what you do. It's a program that runs in the background. Where did I start my journey? I actually did an online fitness challenge and I won. It was only a 3-month challenge. I didn't know there would be a winner. It was for people that were 40 plus. So the workouts were easier on the joints. It wasn't, this all out kind of competitive bodybuilder mindset. It was, let's get healthy. And I found that I plateaued after 3-4 months, and I'd only lost 10 pounds in 4 months. I wanted more. So I realized I had to up my game in nutrition and training. And that's how I started my journey. And then how to stay motivated and committed in the beginning. Now that's a great question, because that's the key to everything. If you can't stay consistent and committed and motivated by your very important why in the beginning, it's just going to be another one of those cycles that, comes and goes. And you fall off and you're like, I can't do this. You need to decide now that you can do this. Slowly. Don't restrict yourself with nutrition. Don't deprive yourself of holidays and fun out with the girls or the boys or whatever. Live your life, because you could be doing everything right. You could be, a perfectionist, which is not recommended, but you could be doing everything right and then life throws your curveball. You've got to have surgery. Someone you love passes away. You start taking care of, an aging parent. So many things can come into our life and throw us off balance. But if you're in a pattern of working out, eating nutritious food, taking care of your body, you will motor through that with strength and resolve, and you'll have it playing in the background all the time. So it's so important, really, to get healthy, stay healthy. You're going to be able to do more than you ever thought possible, especially in your power decade of 50, 60, 70 plus. And so the other thing actually that people were asking about how to start, one said she's intimidated by weights, afraid to take risks, and then how to stay motivated in the beginning when the days are harder. So being intimidated by weights, I get that. I have osteopenia. I have to modify some of my squats and other exercises because I don't want to put undue pressure on my spine, which is where the osteopenia is. And it's great if you can have somebody show you. I am going to be offering programs online here very soon with weightlifting programs, either at home or in the gym, which is super great. But if you can also go to a local gym and have a trainer show you, and there are some big box gyms that their trainers, they're free. So when you sign up, you get an hour of free training. They can show you the machines, they can show you how to do lifts. And if you're learning to do lifts or weight training and you're not sure, honestly, go on YouTube and just put that exercise in the search bar and then find, usually I look for women who are 40 plus. I don't really want to look at a guy who's in his 20s and how he does the exercise, because his body is different than mine, besides gender-wise. A lot younger, a lot stronger, different motivation. So all that information is out there, and I'm going to be providing that for those who want it very soon. So hold on, stay tuned, it's coming. Diet and weightlifting routine. So right now, my diet or my nutrition plan, I always work with macros. And my macros change according to where I am in a cycle of bodybuilding. So I am going to compete next year. Right now I'm in what you would call a build cycle where my calories, i.e. macros, are higher because I'm wanting to eat more food to fuel my muscles. And this is where we build muscle by feeding the body. And that's why it's very confusing when you go online and you hear people say, you're not eating enough or you're eating too much. Well, which is it? It depends on your goal. If your goal is to build muscle, you need to eat more, but it's in a macro plan. So the amount of carbs, fat, and protein that you eat is very important to stay consistent. Usually the protein and fat stay the same. It's the carbs that fluctuate. They go up to build, they come down to cut. And what I found is that when you do it that way, you start gaining, I would say, muscle, like your measurements with the tape measure get bigger, your hips, your arms, your legs, but the waist stays smaller because you aren't putting on fat. You're actually putting on muscle. And mostly fat goes to especially women, 50 plus, post-menopause, perimenopause, goes to our abdomen area. So it's really doubly important when you're building not to get that, building there. You want to build muscle. You don't want to build fat around your waist. And one of the things that will help with that is a low stress life. You've all heard of stress fat, right? Stress elevates the cortisol hormone in your body. And we need this hormone because it's a flight or fight hormone. So if we're in a situation where we have to do one or the other, and I said, family holidays are sometimes fight or flight. I don't want to fight with anyone. I'm leaving really quick. But anyway, that's the stress hormone. It gets elevated when we're anxious or we worry. It also gets elevated and stays elevated when we drink alcohol. And so if alcohol is a part of your lifestyle, which is a personal choice, but you aren't seeing any results, the alcohol will stop fat loss for a couple of days because of partly the elevated levels of cortisol. And also there's something about alcohol that just takes away somebody's resolve, and then they want to eat food that they normally don't eat. So thinking about how that fits into your overall plan is important. No judgment. I mean, drinking alcohol is a big part of some people's social life, or it's a ritual at night, but you can always cut way back. You can cut back and save it for special occasions. Let's see. How to stay motivated. I did that one. What to eat nutrition. What to eat in nutrition. So someone did, actually quite a few people did ask about protein. What other sources of protein besides animal protein and dairy are there? Well, first, besides animal protein, there is dairy, like Greek yogurt, cottage cheese. There's also protein powders, and there's a whole array of different protein powders. If you have a dairy allergy or a whey allergy, if you want vegan protein powder, it's all out there. Really great products are out there. And in terms of protein other than animal protein, if you food combine, for instance, rice and beans creates the amino acid that turns it, becomes protein. It's protein in your body. And so vegetarians and vegans, I think, have to be a little more diligent about getting their protein. And they can build muscle. You don't have to eat animal protein. I personally, and I think it's partly because of my ancestry, which is mostly Northern European, Scandinavian, we're meat eaters. And that's just sort of in my DNA. And there is a study that was done on different groups of people, that what their ancestry is and what kind of food is best for them. And I don't know if it has any bearing on anything, but I do know that eating meat, I feel better. If I don't eat meat, I don't feel well. However, a keto diet made me sick. No carbs, high protein, high fat, really hard on kidneys, and it was really hard on my body. I didn't like it at all. Did I have a coach at the gym showing me machines in the beginning? Actually, I did. On the online fitness challenge that I won, I actually went to a boot camp that coach was giving in Colorado and learned some stuff in person. And then my husband and I moved to another city, and I decided I wanted to get a coach in person. So I went, found a gym, and had a coach really show me everything. And I worked with him. He's the one that suggested I do a bodybuilding competition when I was 64, and I thought he was crazy. But he helped me get there, and I'm actually going to work with him again this year. He's a former champion. I mean, he's just won. He's a pro in the IFBB, and I'm just really excited to work with him again. Menopause and body fat levels. Again, this is part of the stress hormone. When I was talking about the cortisol, we have receptors in our abdomen, and the elevated cortisol, somehow the fat just goes around the middle. We get it around our waistline. If you can get enough sleep and lower your stress levels, you can help your body shed that belly fat. You don't spot reduce it, but it helps the metabolism, the overall metabolism in your body, which is not just digestion, it's respiratory, cardiovascular, digestive, reproductive, circulatory. All these systems are part of your metabolism. If you can lower your stress level, you will help your body let go of that fat. So if you have a stressful job, are you close to, can you retire? Can you cut back on the hours you work? Can you trade hours? You kill yourself at your job to go to the gym more? That's what I did. I knew I had to make that choice. I wanted to be healthy, and the job was stressing me out so much, and I wasn't ready to retire, that I cut back on my hours. Yeah, it was less money, but you know what? What I earned in energy and health, there is no comparison. So don't be afraid to look at options in your life. What can I do differently? And that also can really unlock a key to what your body's holding on to. All of this comes from mindset. So, how we think, what our thoughts are, affects the body. Everything, all those systems, all our metabolism, everything is affected by our mind. We all know when we don't feel good and we're depressed or blue or whatever, we just want to sit on the couch and do nothing. But when we're excited about something, we get up, we're excited, we get dressed, we go out the door, and that's the way it should be. But if you don't feel well, naturally you're going to want to just sit on the couch and say, I don't want to do anything, because you feel like crap. So that's another reason why at this age, getting healthy, not losing weight, not getting a beach body, which are side effects, I'll tell you, they come if you're committed and consistent, but it's not the goal. You're going way beyond that goal. You want to be healthy for the second act of your life. You want to be paying attention to how to take care of your body and do those practices and keep doing them. And it might take you a year for that program to fully download into your being, where it's just running in the background, and you don't have to get up in the morning and say, oh, I have to push myself to go to the gym. You're going to love going to the gym. And find a gym where there's people who you enjoy. Community is so important, which is another reason why I'm creating this online community, aside from Instagram, where we can have dialogue and support each other and share our wins, as well as have challenges every month and workouts online. I'm super excited about it, so please stay tuned. The rate of weight loss per week, that's a good question. Nobody's going to lose, unless you are morbidly obese, and by that I mean 100 pounds plus over a healthy weight. 2 pounds a week is not reasonable. If you need to lose, let's say, 10, 20, 30, maybe even 40 pounds, in the beginning you might be losing a 1.5, maybe 2 pounds a week, maybe a pound, because your body's, with the nutrition, it's getting rid of inflammation and water retention, and it's starting to let go of all that stuff. But a healthy rate of weight loss for me, when I was in my early 60s, was a 0.5 pound a week at most. Sometimes it was only, 2.5 pounds for a month. It was for the first 4 months. And then after that, it wasn't even 2.5 pounds a month. It was 2. And you know why? Because I wasn't killing myself with a restrictive, depriving diet. I was bringing everything down, step at a time, seeing how my body reacted, but staying completely consistent with my workouts, being committed. It's a long game. That's the thing. It's not the short game of weight loss for an event. It's not like that anymore. That doesn't work. People call that YOLO. You're only lean once, and that's it. You don't stay lean. And what does lean mean? Lean means you've got muscle mass, muscle tissue. It doesn't mean like you're skinny, anorexic, lean. And I have to be honest and say that my first competition in 2021, after I shed all the weight, even though I was working out, I had not yet built significant muscle. I look scrawny on that stage. I look now and I'm like, man, I only won because I was the only competitor, but I was not really like in competitive shape. I was skinny. I hadn't built the muscle yet. So then I did a build and put on more muscle, and then did a cut last summer, and I looked more muscular on stage this summer. Now I'm doing another build, and then I'll do a cut in the spring, and hopefully more muscle. And if you look at women that have been working out or competing, let's say, for 5, 10, 15 years, and you look at where they started and you look at where they are now, unbelievable physique transformation. So muscular, because once they strip away the body fat that covers up the muscle, but doesn't go to the waist, interestingly, there's so much more muscle there. And the ones that look shredded and cut, nobody walks around like that all year, because you have to be in extreme calorie deficit. And you don't want to be in an extreme calorie deficit full time. Your hormones would be out of whack. You'll get sick. You can get injured at the gym because you have brain fog. It's not healthy. So whatever you see on stage is for that moment in time. And this is the interesting thing to me, that when you go out to a restaurant or even a holiday meal and you overeat and your belly's distended and you feel sick and your whole body just feels bloated. Well, being on stage is the opposite of that. You do everything you can to strip away anything that's going to make you bloat, inflame any part of your body. And that takes an entire week. They call it peak week. So there's a real strategy to that, and good prep coaches know what that is, so that when you step on stage in that one moment in time for like 20 seconds, it's all, you look your best. But you don't look that way a few days later. You start upping your macros again. You start getting back to a healthy nutritional intake of food. And so it's really important to know that what you see on Instagram it's an illusion. It's an illusion. And I have to say that I did get and I might write a post about this just because it kind of got me in the gut, but this woman left me a message the other day and said, "What is your Instagram all about? All I see is pictures of you." And I just thought, I wanted to answer her and say, yeah, I know, that bothers me too. It does. it's like putting my pictures up every day seems completely narcissistic and ridiculous, and I didn't grow up in a selfie time frame. But she must not be reading my captions. I spend a lot of time putting a message out there that will help women my age see that I did it, you can do it. And this is how. And I imagine she never read any of my captions. And unfortunately, we live in a visual society where we're captured by pictures. But I wish it wasn't that way too. Honestly, another picture of me, I get tired of it too. And I really wanted to tell her, I totally get it. I get tired of it too. But I wanted to ask her, but do you read my captions? Because that's the only reason I'm on Instagram. And even when I go to the gym and I do, videos of my exercises, I'm thinking, how can I show somebody how easy this is in a 60 plus body, And so anyway, I've created this, I have created. There's a platform and it's a private network. It works similar to Facebook, but it's private. It's a mobile app. You can also be on your desktop. And there's going to be so much information there for women who want it. And just a tiny nominal membership fee just to make sure that it's a safe place and that the women who join are serious about fitness. They're not serious about trolling other women, because that happens all the time. I saw a quote today by a friend of mine on Instagram that said, when your fire is lit, there's a lot of people that want to come and blow it out. And then there's a lot of people who come with a candle, wanting to have their candle lit. And as women, that's what we have to do for each other. We have to light each other's candles, support each other, and just not be in this mindset of, I don't know where it comes from. I don't know. But I just feel like people are stressed. Again, it's a stressful time, rushing around. But women need to support women. We have to. And model for younger women. Model for younger women, our daughters, our granddaughters, Be the wise queenager that you are. So I am so sorry that I can't read comments when I do these Instagram lives. If you would kindly send me a message, a DM on Instagram, if you had a question that wasn't answered or you asked something during the live that I didn't see, I'd be happy to answer. And then I just have a few someone asked, what is leg day and arm day? That's just when you do an upper body, lower body split in your workout. Some people do a full body workout when they go to the gym, then they rest a day, then they do another full body workout and rest a day, and other people do a split. They work on legs, glutes, hams, quads, calves. One day, that's a leg day. And then arm day would be upper body. And that might be delts, biceps, triceps, back, lats. And what you can do also is break up muscle groups in the upper body. So maybe you do triceps and back, glutes and quads, both in the same day. And then that's not really a full body workout. It's picking muscle groups from upper and lower. And then the next day, pick different muscle groups from upper and lower and do those. So it's kind of like an upper and lower together, but not a full body workout. You're not doing every single muscle group. And then rate of weight loss, how to stay consistent with working out and nutrition, how to stay motivated when you don't see results. That's a really good question too. Why aren't you seeing results? Ask yourself that question. Is it your mindset? So if you're not seeing results and you're having a hard time being motivated, be honest with yourself. Mindset. Do you believe you can do this? Do you want to do it? Are you sabotaging going to the gym because you feel like you're afraid of change? a lot of people don't want to get fit because it's going to disrupt their lives in some way, and they know it on a certain level. And so that motivation's never there. So you have to decide what's more important, what the priority is. So if it's not mindset, if you really want it and you're motivated, okay, then are you tracking your food? Are you writing down everything you put in your mouth? One woman said, oh, I track 3 days a week. And I was like, it's not enough. What are you doing the other 4 days? We don't realize how much we take bites, licks, and tastes, and how, scooping something with a cup measurement rather than weighing it in grams, how many calories that can add. And restaurant meals are notorious for more fat in everything. So your fat grams are going to be really high if you eat restaurant meals, and forget alcohol. Those are empty calories. They have no nutritive value. They just, like 5 ounces of red wine is 37 carbs. That doesn't fill you up. And then if you're watching your food intake but not tracking it, and you haven't planned for that 5 ounces of wine, then that's just going to pile up on those 4 days you're not tracking. So be honest with yourself. You're losing motivation because you're not seeing results. Is it your motivation, or is it your approach to getting your results? And are you being realistic? You're not going to lose 10 pounds in a week. Like this magazine said the other day on the newsstand, lose 45 pounds before Christmas. Are you serious? December 1st to December 25th, 45 pounds. And I've said this before, and maybe if you're in the hospital in the intensive care on an IV and you're in a coma, sure, you could lose 45 pounds. It makes no sense. Do they think we're stupid, the editors? They must. I don't know. They just must think that we're stupid. So if you're not seeing results, mindset, nutrition, really important. Nutrition is more important than training, honestly, in terms of results, because you can train like a beast in the gym and come home and say, I'm eating healthy, I'm watching what I'm eating, and you're not going to lose a pound because you are not in a calorie deficit. You've got to get in a calorie deficit. And one thing I've noticed for myself, and I think this is probably true for all queenagers, don't believe it when bodybuilders say cardio doesn't matter, or I never do cardio, I hate cardio. Usually they are male bodybuilders, younger. Their body is so different, and they are building muscle. They're not so concerned about, losing the fat. In fact, some of them almost look like they're overweight. Maybe they're on steroids or whatever. But cardio for us at our age, ladies, women, 50 plus, brain fog goes away. Blood starts to flow. You just feel better. 30 minutes a day, 5 times a week, can really affect your bottom line health. It can also burn off the calories you need to get in a deficit without going to some completely restrictive, depriving nutrition plan. So do cardio, do your training, be consistent. You have to be consistent with your nutrition, and check your mindset. What are you expecting? If you aren't seeing results, don't blame it on the program, unfortunately, or even your coach. Blame it on yourself. What are you doing to not get results? And if it's that you're not patient and you expect to lose 10 pounds in a week, you have to readjust that. You have to be more realistic. And again, if you take your mind off losing weight and you make it more about your health, you're going to be happier. And if you want to see your body changing, get a tape measure. Measure your arms, measure your waist, your hips, your thighs. You can also do, a chest measurement, your neck. You can measure those. Once a week, every 2 weeks, once a month, you'll see changes before you will see anything on the scale if you're doing it. If you're not lying to yourself and you're doing it, you're doing whatever program it is to get you in a calorie deficit, lose fat, gain muscle. Your clothes, how do they fit? Is your mood better? Are you sleeping better? There's so many ways to know that you're getting results. But damn it, we've been taught it's on the scale. It's the bathroom scale. If it doesn't show up there, you're not making progress. That's so untrue. So we have to undo that mindset that the bathroom scale is the big metric. Eventually, it becomes more indicating, a better indicator of where we are and where we might need to, be a little more careful. We go on vacation and we relax a little bit with our food intake, which we certainly should. You should enjoy yourself on vacation. We usually walk more. We might come back and we've lost a pound or we've stayed the same. But if we've gained 5 pounds, then we know, oops, okay, I overdid something. So it's more or less a feedback loop that you can use to reset your course. And I think that was, suggestions for a high protein breakfast, simple meal prep ideas. That also will be in this new group platform. But what I like to do, I have this breakfast every morning. It's very simple, it's high protein, and it's great amount of carbs. So I eat it and go to the gym. It's oatmeal. I cook oatmeal, the quick kind, like a minute, in almond milk. And then I put in egg whites. And then I put in protein powder with stevia, cinnamon, some butter. Oh my God, it is so good. And what I'll do is I'll put that recipe in my stories later today so you have it. It's very simple. Any protein powder will do. I use the quick acting oats because I don't want to sit there for 15 minutes every morning and let it cook. But that holds me over for hours, gives me energy at the gym. Very simple. I have it every morning. And you will also find, if we're talking about nutrition routines, I like to say that rather than diet routines. Myself, like many bodybuilders, we eat the same thing all the time. It's just easier. It's easier. And I eat a lot of cod. I eat a lot of ground turkey, chicken, salmon. I don't eat a lot of dairy because it gums me up. Lots of vegetables. So vegetables can be a really great carb source, as well as bread, pasta, rice cakes, rice, sweet potatoes, corn, peas. There's so many ways to put together simple meals. If you do macros, so you plug in your protein, you plug in your carbs, and you plug in your fats. And that ratio changes depending on your goals, and that's why it's important to have a coach to help you do that. So anyway, I really appreciate you guys coming in on this Sunday, and I'm also going to ask you on Instagram, I'm going to do a little poll. What are you interested in knowing? Are you interested in seeing more exercise demonstrations at the gym, home gym exercises? Are you more interested in nutrition and food? So anything that I can add that is helpful. And then I'm always going to show my before and afters. That's just, I'm just going to do that. And I also notice a lot of you love fashion. I love fashion too. So I love posting anything that has to do with fashion, but since it's more about fitness, I don't do that very often. But just let me know what's helpful to you. And this holiday, let me just say, if you can, keep your stress level low. Keep it low. And when you go to holiday parties and Christmas dinner or New Year's dinner or Hanukkah dinner or whatever your holiday season brings you in terms of gatherings and food, you have 3 choices. You can go there with your food scale thinking, I'm not going to eat this, I'm going to stay on track, I'm not going to, deprivation, restriction. Or you can go all out and say, I'm going to get drunk, I'm going to eat desserts, I'm going to I'm just going to reward myself for all the hard work I've been doing. Or the third choice is to be in the middle. Be moderate. Don't take your food scale. Don't tell anybody you're on a nutrition plan, because that always makes people wacky and they'll make comments or whatever. But just go, look at what looks good, listen to your body, eat what you want to eat, use your queenager wisdom and intelligence. You know when to stop. We all know when to stop. Let this be a practice session. Like, how am I going to handle this? And if you don't do well, it's still a great lesson. You still got in the practice. That's where you take your mindset with you. That's a fitness mindset where you go and you say, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm not going to restrict and deprive, and I'm not going to go overboard. I'm going to be calm and peaceful and enjoy myself. And it's all about the people that I'm with. And my husband and I recently had to go out of state for something, and we didn't know if we were going to be spending the night or coming back the same day. But I decided I'm going to pack all my food and take it with me. And I'm at that point in my journey where that's less stressful than just saying, I'll just make the best choices I can on the road. That's stressful for me. But for you right now, if you're in the beginning, that might be less stressful. I'll do the best I can because I'm still learning. I'm still stacking and learning these habits. But for me, having my food prepared, ready to go, knowing I have my macros and everything all taken care of, removes the stress. For some people, it adds stress. So decide where you are in that cycle. Honor yourself. Enjoy your holidays. And I'm going to have announcements really soon on how I can really help you embrace the fitness mindset and lifestyle. And thank you all for following me on Instagram. It's just a pleasure knowing that there's this amazing community of women out there. All right, you guys. Love you, and Happy New Year. And I'll see you again soon.